Hare Krishna, we continue reading from Bhagavad Gita as it is. We are on chapter 8, attaining the Supreme, text 25. Dhumoratris tatha Krishna sanmasad dakshinayanam tatra chandram samjyotir yogi prapya nivartate. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. The mystic who passes away from this world during the smoke, the night, the fortnight of the waning moon, or the 6 months when the sun passes to the south, reaches the moon planet, but again comes back. So Krishna, we heard in the earlier verse where he was saying, if you pass in the light, during the time of the waxing moon, or when the sun is in the north, then you go to the spiritual world. Now he's saying, if you're going in the night, if you're going to pass during the night, during smoke, fortnight of the waning moon, or when the sun is in the south, then you will reach the Chandralok. Chandralok is a higher planet than the Earth, but still it's within the material world. So he's saying, but again you will come back. In the third canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, Kapila Muni mentions that those who are expert in fruitive activities and sacrificial methods on earth attain to the moon at death. So expert in fruitive activities and sacrificial methods means they are very expert in karma kand. And karma kand, very expert. So where do they go? They go to the moon. These elevated souls live on the moon for about 10,000 years by demigod calculations and enjoy life by drinking somras. So now we may want to have a higher, if we desire a higher, higher status of enjoyment, we can go to this moon planet and live there for 10,000 years, not 10,000 of human years, 10,000 of demigod years. 10,000 of demigod years is 1 day of the demigods is 6 months, our 6 months, So it's a long time. But it's going to end. They will eventually return to Earth. So even if we go to the moon planet and we can enjoy really a lot, and we can also drink somras there. See, it's like a kind of a intoxication beverage. So really enjoy, too much enjoyment, a lot of sense gratification. But this time is going to end too. It's temporary. We go there, it's like going for a holiday and then coming back. Sure, the enjoyment is more. Then eventually comes to the moon, back to the earth, I'm sorry. Why? Again, we have to indulge in karma. Again, where we are going to go, depending on how we act. Again, we could be degraded to the animals, to the bodies of the animals, or again go back, again be upgraded to the body of the demigods. But we also have a choice to engage in devotional service and go back home, back to Godhead. This means that on the moon, there are higher classes of living beings, though they may not be perceived by the gross senses. So the moon planet is a higher planet than the Earth. The living entities on the moon are superior to the living entities, to us human beings on this earth. We may not be able to see them because we do not have the proper eyes or the proper senses to see them, but they exist. We can see from the Shastras. It's not that there is nothing or no one on the moon, or that is just dust over there. It's much higher enjoyment than the earth. Shukla Krishna Gati Hiete Jagata Shaswate Mate Ekaya Yati Anavritim Anya Yavartate Punaha. According to Vedic opinion, there are two ways of passing from this world, one in light and one in darkness. When one passes in light, he does not come back. But when one passes in darkness, he returns. The same description of departure and return is quoted by Acharya Baladev Vidyabhushan from the Chandogya Upanishad 5.10, 3 to 5. So Chandogya Upanishad says the same thing, what Krishna is saying here. Krishna is telling Arjuna that in the Vedas is mentioned that when you pass, when you die during the light, you don't come to the material world. But when you die in the dark, then you come back. And this is commented by Acharya Baladev Vidyabhushan. Srila Prabhupada dedicated his Bhagavad Gita to Acharya Baladev Vidyabhushan. He's a great Acharya in our line, and he has written the Govinda Bhashya. So those who are fruitive laborers and philosophical speculators from time immemorial are constantly going and coming. Actually, they do not attain ultimate salvation, for they do not surrender to Krishna. So even if we reach up to the Brahmajyoti, even if we reach the Brahmajyoti, if we have not surrendered to Krishna, we will come back. That means even though we are getting liberation, we are going up to the Brahman platform, but because we have not surrendered unto Krishna, the soul, even after reaching the Brahman platform, does not know what to do there. And so after staying for some time over there, comes back to the earth to again indulge in activity, because activity is natural for the soul. Activity is not with the body. This is something we have to understand. We think we are active right now, that the soul is active because we are in the body. And once I give up the body, I will rest in peace. We write down RIP, rest in peace. Because we think that that right now we are active is because of the body and material body. And so if I don't have material body anymore, the soul is just going to sleep. But it's on the contrary. The material body is dead. We see that once the soul leaves the body is just lying on the ground. There's no activity. You do anything to it. You beat it, you cut it, you burn it. The body is just there. Can't get up and move. So what does it show? That the activity is with the soul. So if we have not surrendered unto Krishna and even reached up to the Brahman platform, because we don't know in what activity we have to engage in, we come back to the material world to again engage in activity. And that's the reason we are told that engage in devotional service. That is the activity of the soul. The soul is always active, always doing something. And what is the soul doing? Engaging in devotional service. Devotional service begins by hearing and chanting. And those two are very important for us to regularly hear and chant and follow the 4 regulative principles. So we stop on that note. Are there any comments or questions? If no, then we'll stop here for today. Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai.